pitch deck is an interesting beast, isn't it? It's the strange kind of archaic PowerPoint kind of thing, but it still is a gold standard for being able to nail why a problem exists and why a particular entrepreneurial business is in the right position to fix it. So there's something about the medium, the format of a deck, there's a craft to putting it together, and a lot of it is the visual impression, right? It needs to look good. It needs to be able to encourage you to turn the pages. The first here is that the first 3 slides are crucial because of the problem statement, the way that it's articulated and defined. And this is why I really urge entrepreneurs and founders to spend as much time as possible with being able to really get good at describing what that problem statement is. And so those first 3 slides for me should detail what that problem statement is, why it's a problem, why it's something that has, until now, gone unfixed, unremedied, right? Why it's a problem and what is the implication of that problem continuing. It's bad now, but if we leave it for another 10 years, it's going to get considerably worse. And not only is that, I think, a very, very powerful storytelling technique to use, but it's also going to immediately captivate your audience because now they feel that this is going to be a problem and it's going to grow in size. And then the third slide, in this sense, should be about how things can change. That's not where your particular solution comes in, but it's where what is needed comes into the picture. It illustrates that there's a need for something without selling anything yet. The problem is what takes precedence. The problem is why you're in business. And so that's why it has to demand that first premium of attention. Have a few different versions so that there's a welcome mat version. There's 4, 5, 6 slides that just tell a very simplified story. There's a much more in-depth version because you've got different people in the VC community, people who want to understand different levels of detail depending on who they are and what kind of decision they ultimately need to make. So it's good to have different versions, and I always start with creating the longest version first, and then from there you can kind of make shorter versions. There needs to be a good balance between the detail, the data, and the context. Sometimes you get slides that are, at Arial 0.5 size, and then it's just with sources and information and numbers and research and why it works, which is impressive because there's data, clearly, and there's sources that corroborate what's being said, or perhaps the problem statement is being supported. But the problem is that it's skewing everything because it's providing a lot of detail and a lot of data and numbers, but there's not enough context. And so the context part is really, really, really key. It's not a training manual, it's not a technical manual, a pitch deck. It's something that has to be given in equal amounts with context. There needs to be context on, okay, you're telling me about this feature, on why something is made much more efficient, okay, but now there needs to be context in the problem statement, or perhaps why why did you decide to make that feature? Why? Because otherwise it's just a shopping list, right? So often, pitch decks, wow, amazing. I've gone through the problem statement, well articulated, well defined, there's a great market context, there's an opportunity here. Oh, it just says thank you at the end. What now? Okay, you're welcome, but how do I get in touch? I want to be able to thank you, right? It needs to be easy to get in touch. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to give you a call? Is there a way for me to sign up to a mailing list? Can I attend the next webinar? Can I meet you in person? Is there an event that that it needs to be easy to take that next step? And unless you're explicit about what that next step is, you don't want to, you're ultimately going to keep that person guessing about how to take that next step. So make it easy for them to get in touch.